feel like for you? And again, what does this mean to your team in terms of what you want to do this year?
It's like we just achieved a history for the school. As you know, we haven't been to the March Madness since 1996, but we coming for the championship. You know, we are not satisfied of just getting to the March Madness. We want to win it all, and I believe that this group of guys with the coaches and the whole guys in the staff, like we have something special, and we can achieve like big things this year.
You've had some moments this year, but on this stage to play as well as you did, what did that feel like?
It feels, it feels good. You know, everybody wants to play on the big stage, having a good game. So I was just waiting for my moment to come. We have a pretty deep team, so a lot of talented guys. So everybody has their moments throughout the year, and we don't just rely on one guy, and that's our biggest strength. So today was my moment, and I took it.
Questions for the student athletes?
Zach Farmer, unofficial WCC Hoops podcast. For either one of you, just kind of talk about the physicality of this game, because this one went back and forth all night long, and to kind of have that kind of perseverance and to be able to kind of stay steady late in that game. Kind of, what were the conversations in the huddle, and how did you guys be able to kind of overcome a game in this environment and obviously come out with a big win?
Well, we knew that the other team was very physical. We knew what type of team that they had and how strong they played, but during timeouts and everything, we stayed together. Even like free throws, we stayed together, and that's really what brought us to the win. Like we were staying together in all those moments when they win our runs and we win our runs. We knew we had to stay together as a team, and it was amazing. The coaches helped us, pointed us in the right direction, and it was just a team effort. We're sitting here right now, but it should be the whole team here because it was a team effort that got us the win.
Sasha, you guys were up by 2, and clock was running down with under 20 seconds to go, and you look like you're trying to figure out what to do with the ball, and you kept stepping backwards, and all of a sudden you fired up something that Steph Curry might do. Can you just take me through that sequence and how it felt? Did you know it was going in?
Yeah, that's what the coach asked me. Did you know it was going in? I was like, yeah. I'm pretty confident in those moments. I'm not afraid to fail, you know. I would like to take the shots in the big moments, and I mean, sometimes that's just a game of basketball. Against Arizona State, I had a similar shot for a tie game, to tie the game and go to overtime, but I missed it. So I knew that I'll make it the next time, and I made it today.
Were you thinking you were going to end up taking the shot, or were you looking for a teammate?
So the play was not drawn for me, but it didn't happen. So I just took the ball, and I knew I had to make something up, and that's what I was like, trying to find the perfect spot for me to shoot it, and I did.
Question on the right.
Sam Canales, Santa Clara-Saint Radio. For either of you guys, your mental toughness really showed today, I thought, especially on some of the turnovers that you guys lost out of bounds that were pretty in your control. In other games, I think, for example, the Gonzaga game at home earlier this year, those have kind of gotten away from you. Kind of, what was kind of the difference today for you guys?
We just knew like some of the like careless turnovers we had. It was we were just playing so hard, you know. Like when you're playing hard and you have like careless turnovers, like it hurts, but like you know you're playing your butt off, so it doesn't really matter, you know. Like our coach does a great job. Like when we make a mistake, like they don't like get on us. They help us like bring us more confidence and bring us more energy, and that's what, like I said earlier, like we're just such a team. Like I love these guys, I love the coaches, and they really help us in those moments where it feels like, you know, there's a lot of weight on our shoulders, and we might have a mistake, but they're there with us and they help us.
Yeah, we're also a pretty young team. Like we had a new team, young guys, most of us being redshirts, and like we haven't had the experience to play in the big games in a full crowd, away games. So you're just like growing pains, you know, like learn from the losses, learn from the mistakes, and be ready for the final phase of the season, you know. So yeah.
Any other questions for the student?
One more. Obviously, the crowd was pretty in the Gales' favor today. You did have some Santa Clara fans, though, there that got loud for you guys. How did that impact you guys during the game, especially when you guys got to pump them up when you were doing well?
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. You know, Santa Clara fans are some real fans, and it don't matter if the whole stadium is filled up with the other guys. It doesn't matter. We know who our people are, and that's all we need. You know, that's all we need.
A reminder for those on Zoom to use the raised hand function, and we'll be able to unmute you. You can go ahead on the left.
Hi, Nina Glick, Santa Clara Student Newspaper. What's your message to the students back home that were watching?
support us. If you can come get a flight to Las Vegas and come support us. The president's here, so maybe you can excuse them from missing school tomorrow. But we would definitely need support because I've seen packed gym of all Gonzaga fans. So we would appreciate like if more students come like Gonzaga came. So yeah.
But if they can't come, just tune in. All little support matters. Everything matters.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Student athletes, you're free to go. Thank you. We'll go ahead and start with questions for Coach up front.
Herb, first of all, can you introduce us to your guest?
Yeah, this is my grandson, Ford. He made the trip from Arizona to be here for the tournament, and he's a basketball player himself.
Did you like the game, Ford? Yeah. Herb, can you just talk about your team's composure in a setting that they're maybe haven't been in a lot? I mean, you've played St. Mary's and Gonzaga all the time in your conference, but in this setting with so much on the line and to be able to deliver like they did.
Our team, in their own way, has exhibited composure along the journey. They're a team who maintains a very even keel. They don't get carried away too much when things go in our favor, nor do they become down in the dumps when they don't. And tonight was probably a reflection of that habit built through the year, notwithstanding how many people are at a game.
And are you trying to bring Sash out of his shell a little bit and get some personality from him?
One thing this team is not short on, I assure you, is personality. If somehow there was a measuring tape for that, would be among the nation's elite.
Can you talk about that shot he took with
Yeah.
about 12 seconds to go?
And how about the few preceding it? I mean, he obviously got going uncharacteristically, missed a few free throws. I guess those were too easy because he made a number of threes that were very difficult shots and obviously gave us the margin we needed ultimately.
The question that your players already seem to answer, but I don't know if you will. Do you think you're in?
It doesn't really matter what I think. I've come to learn. Whether I'm at home or, trying to decide who's in the tournament. Let's just play tomorrow's game. That's been our message all along. We don't try to handicap the situation. We don't subscribe to bracketologists. We just try to improve our rebounding.
Go ahead on the right.
Amy Elizabeth, KCU sports broadcasting student. First, congratulations, 600th win. And also, what is this going to look like tomorrow? What are you going to change? What are you going to keep the same?
Well, obviously, there's just not a great deal of time to prepare or plan. So you're not going to see, I don't think, either team reinvent themselves, especially us, by the time we get out of here, get to bed, and because it takes so long to wind down, right? Like you don't just hit the pillow and fall asleep. And so before we know it, we're going to be tipping off tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a game more of us relying on our habits than it will be some intricate preparation or game planning. We'll do as much as we can in the abbreviated period we have, as I'm sure they will. But at this point, when you're playing a third consecutive game at this level of intensity, 3 days, the most important thing we could do to prepare is to get hydrated, get rest, and come out and give it everything we have.
Question on the left.
Coach Sendek, Rocco Miller, congratulations tonight. First question is about the matchup tonight. I was at the game at St. Mary's. I thought two things. Foul trouble was a big factor in that game, and the middle 8 of the game where they closed the first half strong and just really blew it out, started the second. Was either of those a point of emphasis, just trying your best not to foul? And then, yeah.
No, not really. We don't really talk about not fouling. If you go out trying not to foul, I think sometimes you foul even more because when you do things tentatively, it usually doesn't yield a good outcome. And so fouling's part of the game. Sometimes it's a good call, sometimes it isn't. But we want our team to play aggressively, assertively, with confidence, and so we don't try to rein them in and introduce, you know, timid play.
Yeah, does that help explain the paint points tonight, 32-22 in favor of the Broncos against one of the biggest teams in the country?
Yeah, the paint is a sacred area on both ends of the floor for both teams. If you could prevent other teams from getting there and you can get there yourself, it usually favors you.
And my last question on the approach to the matchup, just was there any thought that if you didn't win tonight that it could be over, or was that not really discussed?
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody, but for my own personal sanity, I can't go into those rooms because it changes hourly. Everybody has an opinion. Obviously, on Selection Sunday, every year somebody is devastated and crushed by not getting in, and whomever does get a bid is overjoyed. But to listen to every pundit, bracketologist, to try to watch every game and try to figure out how that helps you, that would be such a distraction from doing the job you have and trying to control what you can control.
Question on the right.
Hey, Coach. I think third straight year now that I've been here with you. Nice to be in the first press conference this time instead of the second one after a win. I feel like the biggest difference for this team this year has been kind of your approach to how you play defense. Can you talk a little bit about how the team played defense today against a Gales team that can be really hard to match up against?
First, let me just say this, and I mean this sincerely. I said this all week, after our last loss to St. Mary's. I really detest comparison, right? Because to compare, you necessarily have to elevate one over another. But that's not the intention of what I'm about to say. What Randy has done at St. Mary's is as remarkable and as incredible as any job that's been done in men's college basketball in the last 30 years. And we really need to pause and think about that and appreciate it with where they started 30 years ago and where they are today. And the consistency is just utterly remarkable. They're annually a top 20 program in the country. And I stand in awe, I really do, and try to learn, as much as we can by playing them, by watching tape. I'd love to be a fly in the wall sometimes because in every facet, their ability to evaluate, their ability to recruit, their ability to teach, to get guys to accept roles, even roles that aren't always glamorous, is just remarkable.
Final question on the left.
Thomas Dunn, unofficial WC Hoops podcast. Coach, within the development and your year-over-year progress, you've been very focused on the then and now. The current then and now is the first WCC tournament final since, I believe, 2007. How do you contextualize the journey of this specific team in achieving that specific feat?
Yeah, I haven't got to contextualizing much, but I will say this. I'm very fond of an old Chinese proverb that says, "When you drink the water, remember who dug the well." And when you have moments like right now, and obviously we're on cloud nine, it's important to pause and think about how many shoulders we stand on and how many different people, unknown oftentimes, right, most times, that helped make this possible, right? And it goes back to our predecessors, guys like Coach Williams and Coach Davey and all the great players, our university's support with President Sullivan, the trustees, Heather, our athletics director, and our athletics department. I mean, there's just countless people that make it possible, and I think that's easily overlooked. But I could tell you, now, building the fourth program and being a part of two others before I became a head coach, it really does take everybody. And if you think otherwise, boy, I couldn't disagree with you more.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
So we're good? No, the losing team.
Oh, the losing team.
No, dude, that's what I had a realization. I was like, oh, we got another team. I was just like, dang. That's why it took me a minute to process. I was like, oh, we're almost done. And then I was like, wait, we got one more team. I know, I thought so too. Wait, hold this. I need to go to the restroom, blow my nose real quick.
Are we, is Coach on his way? Okay. While we wait, just a reminder that both locker rooms are still open until 11:30. If anyone, does anyone need any either? Oh. No? Okay. One more moment. All right. Welcome to West Coast Conference Credit Union won West Coast said it twice. Post-game presser, game 10, we have St. Mary's with head coach Randy Bennett, and then student athletes Mikey Lewis and Paulus Maraskis. We'll go ahead and start with an opening statement from coach.
Yeah, good, pretty good game. I didn't think we played well. We definitely didn't defend well, and they hit some shots. Their guard hit some big shots second half. So, but we had 4 guys. We felt we needed to do a good job on them. We did a bad job on 3 of them, and one of them we did a good job. So, in a game like that, you're gonna have to do better than that. So, at the end of the day, we didn't defend well enough, and they shot the ball well and hit 11 threes, which proved to be the difference. So, congrats to them. They have a good team.
A reminder for those on Zoom to use the raised hand function. We'll be able to unmute you, and you'll be able to ask a question. We'll go ahead and start with questions for the student athletes.
Yeah, Jeff Ferrado with the West Coast Conference. Mikey, heck of a game to watch. I don't know what it was like to play, but do you guys come out of this disappointed by this, but knowing you're going to keep playing, or how do you look at this?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to wait till Sunday to see. I mean, I think we should get in, but yeah, definitely a lot to learn and grow from in this situation. Very disappointed we didn't win it. So yeah, just gotta hopefully get an opportunity, hear our name called on Sunday, and get another opportunity to not let this be our last showing.
You guys played pretty well on offense. What did you think of the team's defensive effort against these guys?
I don't think we did a great job in the second half, especially with Bulgarian kid. He got hot.
Mikey, that last 3 that Sash, the guy, took, it looked like he just wasn't sure what he was going to do with it, and he just kept stepping back. And when he released that, what were you thinking?
I was kind of watching it. I was just hoping that it was off and we'd get a rebound, get a chance to come down. I wasn't really thinking too much past that. It was pretty good defensive possession. He had a tough one. Yeah.
Questions for the student athletes?
Yeah, Mikey, the last time you guys played, you guys took over what I call the middle 8, last 4 first half, first 4 second half. You were instrumental in that. What did you see from them tonight that was a little different, where they may have adjusted and had you guys have to counter?
I mean, I think it was a lot of the same looks as last game. I think we didn't shoot it as well. We also didn't guard like how we usually do or needed to. But I think we learned a lot tonight. I think we had a pretty good just players only talk in the locker room, and I think we'll learn and grow from this.
And Paulus, do you feel like going into the tournament, this is going to give you guys just an extra chip that maybe you haven't had in the past because of just the abruptness of this?
I mean, we have like 9 days to get better. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Student athletes, you're free to go. Thank you. Questions for Coach? We'll start out here in front.
Randy, did you think your guys were ready to play at that level, especially on the defensive side, or did you see something different tonight that you don't normally see?
I think we were ready to play as much as you could be ready to play. I think it's a tough deal, man. You don't play for 9 days and then you go into that game playing a good team, and you don't really get to practice on the court. You can play at 8:30 tonight. It's tough. So it's a tough deal. Anyhow, we had a lead. We did not play well. Yeah, we did not defend well. They shot it well. It pretty much gets down to that. Like, we just got to eat. We have to defend better, and we didn't. So we had way too many. Didn't do our jobs. Too many of those defensively. So.
Is it difficult to play against a team that's, I don't know if they call them desperate, but they got a lot on the line that maybe you didn't have to worry about as much? And do you think they're definitely in the field now?
No, I think we wanted it as much as they did. Like, I don't think that we weren't. I'm good with our team. They wanted to play. They wanted to get ready. They prepared well this week. and Santa Clara's good, and they hit 11 threes on us. So, I don't think it was that. I don't think it's because they wanted it more than we did. I don't think it was that.
I trust you think you're in safely, and what do you think about them?
Should be. Should be on both.
Steve, you're good to unmute, and you can ask your question. One second, Steve. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. You're good. You can go ahead and start. Sorry about that.
All right. Randy, you've been through, whether you've won or lost on Tuesday, the next few days before Selection Sunday. How do you balance giving your team rest, but really you'll have played basically one game in 2.5 weeks? So how do you balance rest with wanting to keep them sharp and also kind of looking around the country at the possible, who knows, 8, 12 teams you might play come a week from Thursday or a week from Friday?
You probably asked me this question the wrong time. If it were up to me, we'd be going back and practicing because we need to get better. But as some time passes, I'll figure it out. There is it just like this week. This next week is tough as well because you don't know who you're playing until Sunday. So it's to motivate the kids to really get after it in practice. You kind of need to know who you're playing, but we're gonna find a way to get motivated. We should have plenty of reasons. We didn't play great tonight, and the next game we play will be probably as tough or tougher. So we have to get ready for that one, and so we have to have some good practices between now and Sunday. And then once if you get your name called, there's no the time elapses very quickly. You just run out of. You don't have much time for a good practice. If you play Thursday, you're traveling Tuesday, and once you get there, there's not many quality practices. So we'll figure it out. Fortunately, we've been in this situation a number of times, and we got to find a way to have a good rest of the week. We're done in this tournament, so probably take a day or two off and then get after it.
Question on the left.
Hey, Randy, Rocco Miller here, bracketseer.org. I remember talking in October about your exhibition games with Ole Miss and Arizona. And then, of course, you got Vandy in the MTE, and you had big games here in Gonzaga. Anything you can go back to, just knowing that there's a good chance you'll play maybe a Big Ten and SEC team where they have athletes and depth and stuff like that you can maybe consider going into the next 10 days?
I think our guys are confident because we have played teams like that and done well against them. We didn't beat Arizona, but it turns out they're pretty good, and we played them pretty good. We did beat Ole Miss. I think we were up like 18 or 20 on them at their place. So our guys have confidence that they can play with about anybody. Arizona would be anybody. Vanderbilt was really good when we played them. They popped us. But other than that, we've been in every game, had a chance to win every game. Lost 4 games the regular season to Gonzaga, Boise by 1. Vanderbilt popped us, and then Santa Clara at their place, who's a good team. So I think we're good there. We've seen the smoke. We're gonna have to play well against it. We're usually a good defensive team. We weren't tonight, and they're a good offensive team, but we have to do better than that. We had some guys who didn't do their jobs defensively.
And last question for me, going into this season, there was a lot of things that need to be sorted out over time. You have some of the younger pieces compared to previous seasons, and I know you're disappointed in the defense tonight, but just quick reflections on the full season now that this part of the season is now done.
No, we've had a great season. I thought we'd play better tonight, but I'm not making an excuse, but it didn't help. Harry rolled his ankle in warm-ups. I don't know how you do that, but somehow he did. We really didn't. We didn't have him tonight. We played him 8 minutes. He's key to us defensively. He's our best defensive five-man. Andrew's a very good five-man, but Harry gives us something that we need, some athleticism, size, and some depth there. And so we just got to get him healthy. And, yeah, I'm proud of these guys. They've done a great job. Don't feel good about the one tonight, but take it back and try and fix the things that we didn't do well. And next time we play, hopefully we'll play better.
Thomas Dunn, Unofficial WC Hoops podcast. You just mentioned the Harry part of my question, but what was the hardest part about getting guys like Dylan, Rory, Montes kind of in the game and acknowledging that Harry had his own injury to deal with?
Who? Dylan, Montes?
And Rory.
It's always hard to get 7, 8, 9. I'd throw Liam in there too. In tight games, and so Tony Duckett too. We have 10 of them we can play. They're good, but it's hard to play 10. And I thought Montes gave us some good minutes, and Rory gave us some good minutes, and Liam gave us some good minutes. We had him. I don't think those guys were the problem. I think we probably need to. I don't know. It's always tough on a tight game to get all those guys in. So, but they did a decent job. I think Montes was a +4 when he was in the game.
Any other questions? Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.